King Minos and Crete imagine a large and beautiful island with tall mountains and green valleys surrounded by the blue waters of the Mediterranean Sea. This island is called Crete, and a very, very long time ago, between 1720 and 1628 BCE, a mysterious and powerful people lived here, the Minoans. The Minoans believed they owed their existence to a powerful sea god. We don't know much about them because they didn't leave many writings, but we do know that they were very skilled at trade and sailed the seas, reaching as far as Egypt and other distant places. Their houses were large and beautifully decorated, and their cities were full of life, the palace of Knossos, a labyrinth of secrets. Their most important city was Knossos, located right in the middle of Crete. Here stood a huge palace, a true labyrinth of rooms, corridors, and courtyards. The walls were painted with vivid colors: red, yellow, blue, and black. Imagine incredible frescoes with bulls, people jumping over bulls, a kind of dangerous sport, and delicate flowers that seem to emerge from the walls. These paintings show us how talented the Minoans were in art. At Knossos, many skeletons of young men were discovered, along with jewelry and tools. It seems the Minoans performed human sacrifices, meaning they offered their lives to deities, especially to the god of the earth, whom they believed lived in the island's mountains and caused earthquakes, the bull and the Minotaur, a story of sacrifice. In the story of King Minos, a giant bull, half man, half bull, named the Minotaur, lived in the depths of the Knossos palace, in a dark and complicated labyrinth. The Minotaur was the son of Pasiphae, King Minos' wife, and a beautiful white bull sent by the god Poseidon. But how did this come about? Legend says that Minos was to become king, and the gods sent him a superb white bull as a sign that they chose him. Minos was supposed to sacrifice this bull to the gods, but he was so impressed by the animal's beauty that he kept the bull and sacrificed another. The gods were very angry. Poseidon, the god of the seas, made Pasiphae, Minos' wife, fall in love with the bull. And so the Minotaur was born. The Minotaur was a terrible creature. It had the body of a man and the head of a bull, and Minos had to ask for help from a great architect named Daedalus to build a special underground labyrinth where the Minotaur could be imprisoned. Every year, the Minotaur had to receive a bloody tribute: 7 young men and 7 young women from Athens who were devoured by the beast. This painful tradition continued for many years until a brave hero named Theseus came to put an end to this suffering: the earth god and earthquakes. The Minoans believed that there was an earth god who caused earthquakes. He was known as the Earth Shaker and was represented by a bull. Human sacrifices were meant to appease this god and prevent earthquakes. Much evidence of human sacrifices has been found in Crete, including the remains of children and adults. In one tomb, the skeleton of a young man was discovered, bound and lying on his back with a bronze knife plunged into his chest. Next to him were an iron bracelet, a mirror, and a signet ring. It seems this sacrifice was made to stop an earthquake, but it didn't work. The end of the Minoan Golden Age. The Minoans were a powerful and prosperous people. Their trade flourished, and their ships sailed all the seas of the world, bringing wealth and new ideas. But around 1628 BCE, terrible things began to happen. Powerful earthquakes struck the palace of Knossos and other cities. Some believe these earthquakes were caused by the eruption of a huge volcano on the island of Thera, an island north of Crete. This volcanic eruption was immense. It spewed ash and pumice over a very large area, and the sun was covered by a thick cloud of dust for 2 years. Huge waves, tsunamis, crashed into the coasts of Crete, destroying everything in their path. Although the Minoans tried to rebuild and adapt, it was too much. Many cities were abandoned and the population declined. It seems the Earth God was angry, and the Minoan royalty failed to appease him. A new power rises, the Mycenaeans. After all these disasters, a new power emerged, the Mycenaeans. They were a people from mainland Greece who were expanding by sea and taking control of trade routes. Eventually, they conquered Crete and took over the rule of the island. Even though they disappeared, the Minoans left behind a rich legacy, an impressive palace, amazing frescoes, and a story about a powerful king, a terrifying minotaur, and a faithful people who tried to understand and appease the forces of nature. This story shows us that history is full of mysteries, and even if we don't know all the answers, we can learn a lot from the past, from stories about civilizations that prospered and disappeared, leaving behind enigmas for us today.